Aloha kako, and welcome back to Just and True. I've tried to make this video a couple times now, but the audio keeps getting garbled up. But I'm going to make it real short like I usually do. Today I wanted to go over just a short, brief glance of the difference between disaster preparedness and a prepper. To me at least, of course, there's all kinds of different definitions of this. It's not, set in stone. But for me, disaster relief is someone who has things on hand in case they can't get more of it. So you have food in case you can't get to the store or the store stocks out. You have batteries for your flashlights and for your other electronics. You have medical equipment. You have just nutritional supplements. You have firearms. You have defense. You have silver or some sort of wealth, maybe even just money at home. That's all what everybody should be doing. That's not prepping. I think there's a really big difference, and there's a huge conversation that's not being had between the difference between disaster preparedness and disaster relief and prepping. Disaster preparedness and disaster relief is having things on hand that you're going to be using, that you're going to need in a situation where you can't get to it. Now that is a major part, that is a big part of prepping, but that is just a part of prepping. That by itself is just disaster relief, disaster preparedness, which everybody in America and the whole world, if possible, should have. 6 months of food and water, ammo, batteries, the usual, the list of things that we all know that we need. Medical supplies, yada, yada, yada. Now, being a prepper is something completely different. Now, being a prepper takes it a step above, and what a prepper does is they prepare for all of this stuff that a disaster relief has, all the canned beans, bullets, and band-aids. What a prepper does is dedicate their life to the knowledge of accumulating these things without buying them from a store. So they go through different homemade medicines that they can do through herbs. They have GMO, dry packed, freeze seeds to plant and grow their own food. They know how to hunt. They teach themselves how to hunt. They teach themselves how to fish. They teach themselves how to clothe themselves, how to build shelter out of nothing, how to generate electricity without batteries, how to make solar generators or aqua hydro generators or generators out of microwaves. And they know things. Prepping is a skill set that you learn. It is information that you learn and you take to heart, that no matter what you have, if you have nothing on you, if you don't have a bug out bag, if you don't have anything on you, not even a blade, that you would be able to survive because you are prepared, hence the word prepper. So it is very important, if you decide to be a prepper, that you realize the difference between disaster relief and prepping. Everybody should be in disaster relief. Everybody should be into disaster preparedness, which is having your stocks and stuff up and available, which again is a huge part of prepping. We want to have our 6 months of food and yada yada yada, but that's all just disaster relief. The true essence of a prepper is someone who goes out and makes sure that they have the ability to survive with no outside help and no outside relief. So once your dry goods are gone, and once your freeze goods are gone, and once your medical supplies are gone, once the stores stop selling these, what you need to be able to do is to survive without it. How do you make tourniquets? How do you make band-aids? How can you make antibiotics from moss? How can you collect honey and different saps and maples depending on where you are in the world? How can you make fish traps without fishing? How can you burn the least amount of calories to gather a massive amount of calories? Will it be through fishing? Will it be through hunting? Can you put up traps? Can you skin a boar to make extra leather? Because a lot of people up north in North America have major freezing, have major winters to go through. Can you make a fire? Can you make a fire quickly? Can you build a shelter if you need to? Do you know to raise it off the ground? So these are things that you need. So again, this video is just about knowing the difference between prepping and disaster relief. Disaster relief is buying a bunch of product in case that you can't get any more. And that will go down, and you're hoping that you can get more by the time that this all disappears. That's not prepping. Again, that is a part of prepping. What prepping is the essence of the less you know, or the more you know, the less you need. The more you know, the less you need. If I know how to hunt, I don't need too much food. If I know how to heal myself and to create antibiotics, I don't need to stack up 6 years of antibiotics because they have a shelf life anyway. If I know how to supplement myself through herbs, dried medicines, other goods that I can find naturally around my region, then I don't need too much medicine. If I can hunt, I don't need too much food. If I can build shelter, I don't need too much shelter equipment, tent equipment, tarps. If I can gather rain and filter rainwater and filter water that's around me or dig down to find water, then I don't need 60, 70, 80 gallons of water or 100 gallons of water in my house. So what I really want you to do, what I really want more preppers to do, and what I want more preppers to do is to kind of wean yourself off of this mentality, and I'm not saying this is all preppers, but it's a large portion. Wean yourself off this mentality that what prepping is buying shit. And it's not that. It's not going to Walmart and dropping $200 on a closet full of dry goods. That is, again, a major part of it to help you during a transition. But the key part, the thing you need to know, more important than buying goods, is having the knowledge within yourself to support yourself independently without any outside source, help, suppliers, or supplements. You need to be able to feed yourself if that food goes away. If FEMA comes and takes it, if your neighbor comes and takes it, if your house gets burnt down to the ground, if you for some reason have to bug out and you can't take 1,000 pounds of food with you, when your food runs out, when your medicine runs out, when your ammo runs out, what are you going to do? You can't just think that the things you have in storage are going to keep you good, keep you safe, keep you fed, and keep you healthy and well nourished forever. You need to have your plans ahead. You need to be prepared to run out. So where the prepping comes in is everything you're going to need to know when all of your equipment and resources runs out. So get out there. One of my first videos was mapping your region around you, looking for useful and edible food, plants. Herbs are really important for medicinal. You got to learn your herbs like immediately. Learn about yucca honey. Learn about honey itself. Learn how to create and gather these things. If you can, get seeds. If you can, get bee boxes. If you can, start growing stuff now. Figure out where your cycles and farming is. Luckily in Hawaii, I can grow things almost year-round, everything almost year-round. Just got to watch out for the elevation and the sea breeze. So again, this is just a real quick video about the difference between disaster relief and disaster preparation and being a prepper. A prepper in itself is having the knowledge to sustain yourself comfortably and safely without anybody's supply or any outside help. Disaster relief is bullets, band-aids, and beans. So be both, be a hybrid, because again, this is just a part of this. Your disaster relief and preparedness is just a part of your prepper, but it is a very small part compared to the knowledge, the useful skills, the moral compass, the work ethic, the determination, the discipline, the integrity, the military bearing that a prepper has. Those are the things you need to focus on. Things that can keep you and your family alive. Everything else you can create if you have the information to do so. Again, mahalo nui loa. Thank you for stopping in. Hui ho until next time, and I will see you guys probably later on this evening. Mahalo.